And it came to pass that I, the narrator, being born of goodly parents, being large in stature and possessing a deep and ominous voice, I will teach ye Philistines the parable of the loser. Now, Terelyn Schlappe, being born as a new baby and under goodly parents, did not follow in the teachings of her parents. In her first years, she was little, and did beat her future friend Becca with a stick, repeatedly, behind the school. That being besides the point, yet related to the gospel, completely, because Laman also beat Nephi with a stick. Now keep up with me as we fast forward 13 years into the future. Tara is sitting in her anatomy class, awaiting the results of her first chapter exam. She's become slightly sweaty as the teacher came down the aisles. Her teacher gave her the paper with much regret. Distraught by the grade, she checked the name at the top of the paper 3 times! After finally accepting the fact that there could be no other Tara Schlappe at Mountain View High School, she felt tears begin to well up in the sockets made for her eyes on her face. She rushed home immediately after school. She ran up to the door and opened the stairs in her frustration. Her father noticed her angered state and sought to console her, his favorite daughter. Not wanting to talk to her father, she rushed right past, nonchalantly thinking about her father's advice before the semester started.
Dad, will you check my schedule and tell me what you think?
This looks good, but I don't know how you're going to handle these classes in basketball. It looks like you're putting too much on your plate.
But Father, I'm rather hungry, and I sure can manage because I want to get these classes done before college.
Weeks passed, and Tara found herself studying for yet another anatomy test. Hour after hour, Tara studied for her test. At least that's what she told her parents she was doing. P.S. Liars will be thrust to hell. Apparently, her study skills were lacking at best, and when she read the first question of the test, she knew she was in trouble.
I knew I should have studied.
As Tara once ran through the door, she was relieved to find that her father wasn't there yet. She thought she was off the hook until halfway through dinner when he walked in and sat next to her at the table. Noticing the distress again, he asked,
T-Air, what be'st that which troublest thou?
Wanting to avoid a convo with her father, Tara asked to be excused.
I had sufficient. May I please be excused?
As she trudged down the stairs, she began to ponder a conversation she and her father had conversed a mere 3 months earlier. She remembered him telling her that he was
only a phone call away.
Tara thought about how she loved her father, and he was very passionate and a very practical man. Thinking things through is one of his strong points. He wants her to learn and grow, and he is excited for her when she is successful.
I love my father, but I just can't stand to see the disappointment on his face when I tell him.
Tara walked into class the next day, expecting to receive a failing grade once again. This time when she got her paper back, she did not have to check the name thrice. She knew it was hers. She got home and found that her father was still at work until after dinner. She thought she had gotten off the hook until she heard a knock at her door. Before Tara could say a word, her father had entered the room and found himself a nice seat at the edge of her bed. He questioned her as to what was making her so sad and assured her that he really wanted to help. She felt that her father could not possibly help her. After all, he was a very busy man, and there was surely other people he needed to help, and he had never taken an anatomy class before. Thinking state.
How could he even relate?
After much persistence from her father, Tara finally relented and told her father about the 2 tests she had consecutively failed. She told him how frustrated that she had failed.
Well, T-Air, did you sufficiently study?
Pops, I spent hours with that textbook, and I never missed a day of class.
When you said you spent time with your book, did you actually read it?
Well, some of it.
Well, that very well could be your problem. You need to actually read and try to understand the material.
Tara and her father continued to converse, and she told her father how she thought he was too busy to help, and how she was afraid that he could not adequately help her with the subject. He assured her that he would help and that he would make sure he had time to help her. Much comfort filled her body there after their conversing session. A rather large smile found her face as her father gave her a big hug and told her good night. The day after their talk, she came home from basketball practice to see her father home early to help her study. He gave her a full hour of his time. It did not cost her anything but a big hug and a smile. He taught her new study techniques and helped her convert everything into long-term memory. Hour after hour and day after day, he selflessly helped her study. Tara began to spend valuable time with her book and did not let things like computer, friends, and cell phones distract her. Her study time became very productive. Test day soon came again upon her. During passing period, she got a text from her father telling her that he was thinking of and praying for her and urged her to do the same. This time she did not ignore her father and said a silent prayer and entered the room to take her third test. When the test results came back, her eyes were once again filled with tears. Fortunately, they were tears of joy. She had not only passed the test, but aced it and received the highest grade in the class. She immediately called her father and he stepped out of an important meeting to hear the news. Tara aced the next 2 tests. Thanks to the help of her new study skills and her father's encouragement, she pulled her grade up to a B. Tara learned a lot from her experience, and we can learn from her experience too. Later in life, she found herself always turning to her father for help. Not only her father in earth, but also her father in heaven. We all have a father in heaven who is willing to give his time for us. We may not think that we are very important or that he has other better things to do, but in reality, he just wants the best for us and will do anything for us. He does not want us to fail. He wants us to talk to him every day. God is only a prayer away. Just as her study habits with anatomy were bad, so are many of our scripture study habits. We must rid ourselves of distraction, and God will help and encourage us. He has given us prophets who will help us learn from the scriptures and who have given suggestions as to how we study more effectively. If we study them effectively, we will see a change, and we can improve our lives. You can turn your understanding and grade with the Lord from definitely failing to passing a complete 180 degrees.